So the next PDC event then is the Players Championship Finals in Minehead. I love this tournament because 30 Players Championship events, 30 Pro Tour events have led everyone to this event, and obviously throughout the year everyone's looking to try and book their place at Minehead, and there's a potential, really high potential jump of sort of prize money and rankings going into the World Championship. Some people trying to get into the top 32, some people trying to, get into the top 16 and stuff like that. So, there's a lot of movement and a lot of people potentially trying to keep tour cards going into this and the World Championship. So this part of the year is the most pivotal for any dart player and every pro dart player and every dart fan. They love the Players Championship, then the World Championship draw. Then the Players Championship qualifier for the World Championship, then the World Championship draw, and then obviously the PDC World Championships in mid-December. There's a lot of games here, 32 games to go through, so I am just going to rattle through my first round predictions of this because it's basically, 32 games, first to 6, and then I will sort of break it down and give like a quarter prediction or what I can, and then I'll be reviewing each day. But not just reviewing each day, I'll also be, giving second round predictions, last 16, quarterfinal, etc, etc. So make sure you like and follow if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe as well. Let's get into it. Gerwyn Price against Ricky Evans. I'm going to go with a 6-4 win for Gezi Price. I think he gets over the line pretty comfortably. Kim Huybrechts, Martin Schindler. It's a weird game that I think Schindler will just about edge it. I'm going to go 6-4 again in favour of the wall. Stephen Bunting, Mickey Mansell. Stephen Bunting was absolutely phenomenal at the Grand Slam of Darts, was brilliant throughout the week. I'm going to go with a 6-2 victory for the Bullet. Gian van Veen against Chris Landman, an old Dutch class in round 1. I'm going to go for Gian van Veen, 6-3. Ross Smith, Scott Williams. Look, this is a very interesting game. Ross wasn't at the Grand Slam, probably one of the highest ranked players that wasn't at the Slam. Scott Williams, an unbelievable talent. This is going to go last leg decider at 6-5 Ross Smith. Callan Rydz against Michael van Gerwen. Look, Michael van Gerwen is seeded 40 for this event. Callan Rydz at 25. This is the beauty of the Players' Championship Finals, but I am going to go for a 6-4 victory for Michael Smith. Danny Noppert, Matt Campbell. That is not Danny Noppert anymore. That is Dylan Slevin. Obviously, Danny Noppert is awaiting the birth of his second child, so I'm going to go with a 6-4 victory for Matt Campbell. Mike de Decker against Mario van der Bogaard. 6-4 win for Mike de Decker in that one. Dave Chisnell, Lee Evans. I'm going to go for 6-1 victory for Chizzy. This one's a very interesting one. Chris Dobie, Raymond van Barneveld. I think this is going to be a very, very good game. I'm going to go 6-4 Barney. I think Barney knocks out Dobie. Rob Cross, Cameron Menzies. Again, another really interesting game, but Rob was absolutely superb at the Grand Slam. Got beat by an unbelievable Luke Humphries in the final, so I'm going to go with a 6-2 victory for Rob Cross. Luke Woodhouse, Simon Whitlock. Great to see Simon Whitlock back on our screens again, and just purely for that, I'm going to go 6-4 victory for the Wizard of Oz. Josh Rock, Raby John Rodriguez. Again, it's another really good tie. Both players are high scorers, good checkouts, high average players. I'm going to go 6-4 Josh Rock. I think the experience that he's got in recency over Raby will get him over the line. Gabriel Clemens, Connor Scott. I know it's a shock, but I'm going to go for a 6-3 win for Connor Scott. I just don't like the way Gabby Clemens is playing at the moment. The consistency's not there. 6-3 for Connor Scott. Johnny Clayton, Stephen Burton. Again, Johnny was unconvincing at the Grand Slam, but 6-4 victory for the Ferret. And then the final game on this side, Daryl Gurney, Neil Zonneveld. I'm going to go Super Chin 6-4 just because Niels is a very good player. Gary Anderson, Steve Beaton. What is this? 2009. What a game that's going to be in a race to 6. I'm going to go 6-5 Gary Anderson. Dimitri Van den Berg, Jim Williams. Again, Dimitri is another one that wasn't at the Grand Slam. He's not been convincing all year pretty much. And I'm going to go with a Welsh boy. Obviously, I am Welsh. So I'm going to go Jim Williams 6-5. James Wade, William O'Connor. Wade again, back to his Wade in best at the Grand Slam. 6-4 win for the machine. Andrew Gilden, Steve Lennon is a very interesting one. Both went into the Grand Slam with a bit of expectation. Obviously, Gilden got beat by Stowe Bunce in the last 16. Steve Lennon was bottom of his group. But this, again, is going to be a tight one. 6-4 in favour of Gilden. Luke Humphries, Martin Lukeman. Martin Lukeman had an unbelievable year last year, didn't he? He was winning loads of games on the tour and on the European tour, getting to quarterfinals, semi-finals, but I just think Luke is in an unbelievable place right now. I'm going to go 6-1 to Cool Hand Luke Humphries. Radek Sagansky against Ian White. Again, Ian White used to be so well known for getting, first on the Pro Tour Order of Merit and was always seeded 1 for this, but couldn't do it on the stage. And again, I'm going to go for Radek to get this one 6-4. Ryan Searle, Boris Kirchmar, 9 data Ryan Searle, we should say. I'm going to go 6-3 for Ryan. I think relative ease gets him through this one. Ricardo Perichko against Christian Kiss. Pikachu against Kiss. Again, another comfortable victory for Ricardo, 6-3. Damon Heta, seeded number 3rd for this one, takes on Jules Van Dongen in a very, very, interesting game. Jules had again, just like Martin Lukeman, he had a great year last year, getting a lot of wins, but I do think Damo gets over the line 6-3. Jose De Souza, Kevin Doertz. Again, Jose, I think he's dropping out of the top 32 in the near future, and I'm going to go for another defeat for the special one. I'm going to go for Kevin Doertz, 6-3. Christoph Ratajski, Mike Kuyvenhoven. Again, it's another interesting one, but I'm going to go for Ratajski, 6-4. Brendan Dolan, Richie Edhouse. Again, Edhouse. There's capabilities that Edhouse can reach, and obviously we know what Brendan can reach on the stage, but I do think he's going to comfortably win this one, and I'm going to go 6-3 Brendan Dolan. Dirk van Duijvenbode against Jermaine Wattimena. Look, Jermaine needs to start getting victories before he's eventually losing a tour card. And I'm going to go for it to be in this one in an all-Dutch clash at Minehead, 6-4 to Jermaine Wattimena. Michael Smith, Richard Veenstra. Michael Smith, embarrassing at the Grand Slam, grouped. Finished 3rd in his group with Nathan Gervin, Christoph Ratajski and James Wade. Was very, very poor in that game against Wade, and he's not really done much all year, to be honest, considering he is the world champion and the former Grand Slam champion. But I am going to get him to get past Richard Veenstra, 6-2. The penultimate game, Ryan Joyce, Daniel Close. Ryan Joyce has been brilliant on the Pro Tour this year. Loads of semi-finals. It's the 11th seed for this. Shows the progress that Ryan Joyce has made. And I'm going to go with a 6-1 win here for Joyce. And then the last one, Joe Cullen, Jamie Hughes. I've missed seeing Joe Cullen on the stage and on our TV screens. Obviously wasn't at the Slam. And I think Joe is going to want to get back to that, TV game. We know what he can reach. We know the heights that Joe Cullen can reach. I'm going to go 6-1 win over Jamie Hughes. So there are my first round predictions. In terms of, going through and picking, the semi-finals, I am going to pick my semi-final lineup, and then I'm going to pick my final as sort of a bold prediction, but I will be going through each round as it goes. First semi-final then, I am going to go for Gedwin Price to get to the semi-finals. And I'm going to go for an interesting one. I'm going to go Ross Smith. I'm going to go Gerwyn Price against Ross Smith in the semi-final. I think Michael Van Gerwen gets past Callum Ridds, but then I think Ross Smith beats Michael Van Gerwen. That'll be a great game as well, by the way. Ross Smith, Michael Van Gerwen, if that happens. So Gedwin Price against Ross Smith in semi-final 1. In quarter-final 1, sorry, not semi-final 1. In quarter-final 1. In quarter-final 2, I'm going to go Rob Cross against Josh Rock. I think both of them players showed at the Grand Slam that the quality is there for everyone to see. So I'm going to go Rob Cross, Josh Rock in that one. Third quarter-final, it picks itself for me. I know it sounds really stupid, but I am going to go for Gary Anderson against Luke Humphries. I think, again, both of those were brilliant at the Slam. That will be the third quarter-final. And the last one then is an interesting one. I am going to go for a bit of a shock. I'm going to go Christoph Ratajski against Joe Cullen in quarter-final 4. Michael Smith, unconvincing. Damon Heta on the stage can get a bit, ahead of himself. So my 4 quarter-finals, Gedwin Price, Ross Smith, Rob Cross, Josh Rock, Gary Anderson, Luke Humphries, and Christoph Ratajski, Joe Cullen. Thanks for watching. Like, share and subscribe. Like and follow on YouTube. And I'll see you for more darts content.